Welcome to one and all. I am Vasanta, Department of Computer Science, Gopalswamy PU College, Mysore. This is your 12th program. On this, we have a question. Create a class containing the following data members, register number, name and fees. Also create a member function to read and display the data using the concept of pointers to object. Now, all of you listen here. What is the aim of this program? Here, the question is create a class containing the following data members, a register number, name and fees. 3 data members are given. One is register number and one more is name and one more is fees. Also create a member function to read and display. Here we are not doing any calculation. Only thing we have to input the values and we have to display the values. Read and display the data using the concept of pointers to object. Then which are the data members here we required? One is register number and the second one is name and the last one is fees. These are the 3 values we have to import. These 3 values we want to input and then we have to display. We are not doing any calculation here. We have to just input these 3 values and we have to display these 3 values using the concept of pointers to object. Now for this one, now we will explain the program. First, as usual, start with the header file. Include iostream.h. This is a supporting header file for scene as well as cout. Next, include conio.h. This is the supporting header file for clear screen as well as getch function. Next, for a student we want to input register number, name and then fees. Then I am to create a class with the name student. Now here we have to start with the class. The class name here we are given as student. Student is the class name. Next, in private section, declare all the variables. First one we require register number. Register number I am to take it as integer format. Int register number. For register number don't give any space in between. It's a single word. The integer format register number. Next one we have name. Name is a collection of characters. That is nothing but string here. We cannot declare directly string here. Then we have to take it as character format. The data type here we have to take character name. Inside the bracket, for example, I am to write 20. It means that maximum for a name it can take 20 characters. And the last one we have float format fees. Declare all the variables in private section. Next, in public section, declare the functions. Whereas in this we need only 2 functions. One is for input purpose and one more is for display purpose. We are not doing any calculation here. For the sake, the first one is void get data function for input purpose. Next, one more function, void display function. Then we are not doing any calculation. Then close the class. To close the class, after flower bracket, you have to put semicolon. This is the first part. Next, we have to write the statement of get data function outside the class. How to write? First, we have to take the return type here, void. Void. The class name is student. Next, scope resolution operator. Then get data function. Get data function. We are not doing any calculation here. We are just identifying void is the return type, then student is the class name, scope resolution operator, get data function. Here don't put semicolon because now we are writing the statement of this function. Next on this, input all the values. What are things we have to perform? We have to input all the values. First, cout, inside the double quotes, here insertion operator, inside the double quotes write down, enter register number. Enter register number. To move the cursor next line, end line function. Input that value. Cin extraction operator, register number. Next one now we have to input. That is cout, insertion operator, inside the double quotes, enter name. Enter name. To move the cursor next line, end line function. Now cin extraction operator name. Next function, we want to input the fees. Then cout insertion operator, enter the fees. Enter the fees. Now input that cin extraction operator fees. Then close this function which you opened. This is regarding get data function. Here we are not doing any calculation. We are just input all the values, that is register number, name and then fees. Next, we want to display all these three values. Then display function we have to write. How to write? The return type is void. Next, the class name is student. Student. Here write down scope resolution operator. Now display function. Now what we want to do? We want to display all the values one below the another. Cout inside the double quotes write down register number. The student register number equals student register number equals. It has to display inside the double quotes. Then insertion operator, register number. If you want, you can use end line. It's optional. Otherwise, all the values will display one after the another. Then cout insertion operator. We want to display the name. Student name equals. Student name equals. Display the name. Insertion operator name. Display the name. Next, cout. If you want, you can use end line. It's optional for you. The last one is student fees equals. Fees equals. Display the fees value. Then close this function which you opened. Now is it clear for all of you? We are input all the three values. Here we are displayed all the three values. Now what's the next thing? We have to create the main program. How to create main program? That is void main. Void main. Now first create an object. Here we have to create objects to pointer format. For the sake, while creating object, first you have to take the class name. Here the class name is student. The class name is student. Now we have to create object to pointer format. For the sake, first student, then yes, it's a regular object. Then comma star sp, pointer object. Now clear screen, CLR scr, clear scene function. Next, here sp equals ampersand yes. ದ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಂಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. ನಾವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಎರಡು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರು ಒಂದು ಆಂಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ another variable, whereas ampersand stores address of its own variable. The address of S is transferred to SP, pointer object. Now is it clear? Now with the help of object to pointer we can call the function. How to call the function? SP arrow function. Here compulsory you have to use arrow symbol. ಈಗ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಆರೋ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಮೈನಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ದೆನ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆರೋ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. ನಾವು SP arrow call the function. What's the first function? That is get data function. Get data function. Now next call the second function. SP arrow display function. Display function. Of here we are not doing any calculation, we are just input the values and we are just displaying the value. For the sake we does not require compute section, only object to pointer call the functions with the arrow operator, that is get data function, and one more is display function. Then next get ch close the main program which you opened. Now it's okay, once again I am to explain this concept. Whereas iostream.h is a supporting header file for scene as well as cout. Cuneo.h is a supporting header file for clear screen as well as getch function. Our aim to just display the values of register number, name as well as fees by using pointers to object format. For the sake, the class name here we are considered as student. Here in private section declare the variables. Register number we are declared as integer format. Character, name, whereas character ಅಂದಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ, ಕ್ಯಾರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ 20. ನೀವು ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ 20 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, 10 ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ 10 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ char name inside the bracket 20, maximum 20 characters we can able to take here. Then one more is variable is float, that is fees. Now in public section declare a function void get data function, void display function, then close the main program, close the class. Whereas here void student get data function. For input purpose, cout enter register number, input the values. Cout in output screen we want to display, enter name, then input the name. Then next in output screen cout enter the fees, will input the fees value, then we'll close get data function. Next in display function display all the values, that is cout student register number equals display the register number. End lines are optional, if you want you can use, otherwise not required. Then student name display the name, student fees display the fees, then close this function. In the main program create an object to pointer, this is object to pointer. Then clear screen, the address of object is transferred to object to pointer, then call the function with arrow operator, that is SP arrow get data function, SP arrow display function, then get ch, then close the main program. This is regarding your pointer program. Once again I am to recall, whereas here pointers to object is nothing but we can able to a pointer can pointing to an object referred to as pointers to object. Here we can able to call the functions with the help of arrow operator. Now is it clear for all of you? Now we will show you how to execute this program on the system. To perform that, first click on DOS box. There we will get a screen. There on the menu bar click file, new option, then maximize the screen. Now first write on the command section, that is /* create a class containing the following data members: register number, name, and fees. Also create a member function to read and display the data using the concept of pointers to object. Then close the comment section. Now we'll start with a regular program. First we want to start with the header file, that is ash include conio.h. This is a supporting header file for clear screen as well as getch function. Next, ash include iostream.h. This is a supporting header file for scene as well as cout function. Now we will start with the class. The class name here we are given as student. On this, in private section, we will declare the variables. The first one, int register number. Next, character, that is char, name. Inside the bracket write down 20. It means that maximum 20 characters we can take for name. Next, float, fees. Next, in public section, declare the functions. The first function, void get data. We are not doing any calculation here, only we will input and then we will display with the help of object to pointer. For the sake, we don't have any compute section here. The next function, void display function. Then close the class. To close the class, after flower bracket you have to put semicolon. Next, we will start with the functions. The first function, void student is the class name. Scope resolution operator. There, get data function. Now we are writing the statement of this get data function. For the sake, no need to put semicolon here. Now we will write this function cout. The first one, cout insertion operator. Inside the quotes, write down enter student register number. Same, input that value. Same, extraction operator, register number. Next, input cout insertion operator. In the output screen it has to be displayed, that is enter student name. To move the cursor next line, end line function. Same, extraction operator, name. Next one, cout insertion operator. Inside the quotes write down enter student fees. To move the cursor next line, end line function. Next, input that value, same extraction operator, fees. Next, close this function. Next function we will write, that is for display purpose. Void student scope resolution operator display function. Here we will display all the values. Cout insertion operator. Inside the double quotes it has to display roll number equals roll number equals. It has to display the register number now. that is especially the roll number it has to display. That is register number. Then to move the cursor next line, end line function. Next we want to display the next one. See out, insertion operator, inside the quotes write down name equals, then display the name. To move the cursor next line, end line function. Next see out, insertion operator, inside the double quotes write down fees. Then display the fees. Then next close this function. Next we will write the main program now. The first one, void main. Here we will open the bracket, that is void main program we will write. First create the object, that is pointers to object we have to create with the help of the class name. The class name here we are given as student, yes, then star sp. It is a pointer to object. Next clear screen, CLR, SCR. Next, that is SP equals ampersand yes. Now call the functions one by one. SP arrow operator here we are using. To call the functions we have to use arrow operator in pointer. Whereas in generally we use dot operator to call the function, whereas here we have to use arrow operator. Then get data function. Next call the second function SP arrow display function. Then get ch. Now close the main program. After typing this program, first save the program. While saving the program, I am going to give the name experiment12.cpp. Compulsory we have to save the file with the extension .cpp, that is C++ program. Afterwards compile the program. It is displaying error to press any key. To identify the errors, now press any key. Here it is displaying undefined symbol FES. It means that this variable is not defined at all. How to identify where exactly the cursor is present on that line, otherwise above that line, otherwise below that line that mistake is present. Like that you have to identify. Whereas on the declaration we are declared it as fees. FEES we are given, whereas here we are just written FES. Make the correction, fees. Now once again compile. Still we have one more error. Function CLSCR should have a prototype. Hagandre prototype header file miss agide. Now the function name is clear screen. CLR it is. CLR clear screen. Now compile. There is no any error. After this save the file once again. Now run the program with the help Control F9. Here it is displaying enter register number. Enter the register number. Then next enter the name. For example, Ajay is a name I am going to give. Then enter student fees. Enter the fees amount. How much you want, that much you can write. Then it is displaying the roll number, name as well as fees. One thing you are not observed, enter student register number ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ cursor point ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು. There we are written 1 2 3. If you want to move the cursor to the next line, we have to make the correction here. That is enter student register number. There we are not used end line function. Insertion operator, end line. Now once again compile. There is no any error. Run the program. Write down the register number. For example, 456 is the 456 is the register number. Enter the name. I am to enter Akash is the name. Then enter the fees. For example, 5,000 I am to enter. Then it is displaying roll number is 456, name is Akash and fees is 5,000. Now is it clear all of you? Next class we will meet with one more program. To come out from this, file, quit, then next exit.